Hey guys, Fallout Lover here, back with another Fallout 76 video, and today we're going to be doing the part 2 to the best semi-automatic pistols in Fallout 76. As always, the better weapons are going to be the weapons I can clear out around a West Tech with the fastest, not necessarily the highest damage. So without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Here is a look at the perks that I used. And here is another look at the mutations that I used. So coming in at the number 9 spot, we have the Black Powder Blunderbuss. This took me 9 minutes and 7 seconds to do a full round of West Tech with. It is basically the same as the Black Powder pistol. The only difference is it just has a little bit of a curve at the barrel. So this thing really is not anything special, so it's basically a harder version of the Black Powder pistol to get. So honestly, I would just stick with the Black Powder pistol, but if this thing looks cool and feels cool to you, it's decent.
How you hurt me!
Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have the Gamma Gun. This gun is pretty cool. It shoots radiation, and since I'm pretty sure about half of the enemies in the game are really resistant or immune to radiation, it doesn't have that much effect, but it's still a pretty cool weapon. And I do kind of hope in the future we can get this thing in rifle form, because it's a pretty cool weapon. This thing took me 8 minutes and 54 seconds. Not the fastest, definitely not the fastest, but it's still a pretty good gun. If you just want to relax and use something interesting, this is a pretty interesting gun. Although the ammo's not the cheapest and the easiest to find, so this is more of, I guess, a novelty weapon. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have the Ultracite Laser pistol, which only beat our previous contestant by 1 second, so this thing really is not that much better. So, with that being said, this thing is also not that special either. It's basically a laser pistol that shoots green lasers, so it's not the best. It also does not do the most damage, which is kind of sad because it's an upgraded laser rifle, and you would expect, you know, an upgrade to actually be an upgrade, not a downgrade, but alas, this thing does not have a buff, so it's just kind of not that great. If you want to use this gun, honestly, I would skip it and go straight for the regular laser pistol, which we will see later in the list, and it is far faster than this thing. Up next we have an Assaultron Head. Now, this thing came out with the Automatron DLC for Fallout 4, and I never used it. But when this game came out, it was broken, so it didn't work. But not long ago, they fixed it, and it's actually a pretty cool weapon. I actually really enjoy using this thing. Not the easiest to use as a sights for, because it basically doesn't have sights, it just has a giant red laser. But if you want to use a charge weapon, this thing is pretty cool. Its only downside, as I said, it's a charge weapon, so you have to charge it, and also it will take multiple fusion cells per shot if you charge it, so that can be kind of costly, but at the same time maybe not. It's a pretty fun weapon to use. It definitely does really good damage. If you can get a critical headshot with this thing, you're going to be stacking a lot of damage. So this thing in damage definitely wins, but when it comes to speed, it only took 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Not the fastest, but definitely one I can recommend, and I really highly recommend you try out this weapon if you ever get a chance to.
Only for super you.
Coming into the number 5 spot, we have a returning contestant with the Crusader pistol, and this time with a Cryo magazine. This took 8 minutes and 31 seconds. It is okay. It beat its previous time from the previous video, but it's not that much better. Its only benefit is if you don't want it to take 5.56, it takes 10mm, which is, I guess, a cheaper ammo type. It can freeze your enemies, but other than that, this thing is, it's okay. But this gun, once again, is just kind of okay in of itself, so I don't really know what you were expecting. Coming in at number 4, we have a gun that had a huge facelift here recently. This thing took 8 minutes and 8 seconds, and also has a Cryo mag, which, just like the Crusader pistol, can freeze your enemies. But this thing has a far bigger clip, does not do as much damage, but this thing can shoot fast. This thing has a really fast fire rate, and I believe this has the fastest fire rate of any of these semi-automatic pistols. So, if you want fire rate, this thing wins. Definitely not the strongest, but if you got a lot of alien blaster cells that you just want to get rid of, this is actually a pretty fun weapon to use. I'd recommend trying it now that it's, not garbage anymore, so it's an interesting weapon. It's pretty cool. I do like it, and it's pretty colorful. If you don't like Cryo, this thing also has a few other types like fusion cells, which lowers the damage, or poison, which will make it shoot green. So, it's a cool weapon. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the good old-fashioned laser pistol. This thing took me 7 minutes and 38 seconds to do a round of West Tech with, and just like the Ultracite Laser pistol, it is basically the exact same, but better. Which is sad, because this is supposed to be what the Ultracite Laser pistol is an upgraded version of, but it's not an upgrade, trust me. This thing shoots red lasers, so red lasers are cool. It does good damage. It's got a decent clip size. A lot of the pistols from the previous video really failed when it came to clip size. Some of the bigger pistols only had like 12 bullets, where some of the energy guns can go up to 30, so the energy guns, while they don't do more damage than the ones from the previous video, they will definitely make up for that in terms of ammo capacity. So the energy weapons are actually pretty good pistols to have around, and most of these beat the ones from the previous video anyways, except for the Gauss pistol. That thing is still the best, but there is actually one spot on this video that will beat the Gauss pistol. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the plasma pistol. This is just like the laser rifle. This thing took me 7 minutes and 17 seconds to complete with. This thing does pretty good damage. It doesn't have the largest clip, but it does pretty good damage, like really good damage. So where this thing definitely lacks in its ammo capacity, this kind of damage, a lot of the other pistols cannot come close to doing that. So this gun is definitely a gun you should try out. It's actually pretty fun. I actually had a really good time doing the plasma pistol. Plasma is just my favorite category of weapons in Fallout. It's pretty cool. And coming in at number 1 spot, we have the plasma pistol again. So this gun, I have a lot to talk about. This thing took me 3 minutes and 24 seconds. And the reason is because I had a flamer barrel on it. Now the flamer barrel is weird because obviously it's automatic, but the game classifies it as semi-automatic, so this gun is kind of cheating, but I still classified it in this list anyways because I felt it would be necessary. I also wanted to do the Enclave plasma guns, but those guns are just complete. Like, I spent hours trying to find those and I could not. But the Enclave plasma guns, if you're able to find those out in the wild and you're lucky enough to get a sniper barrel or a flamer barrel, you can basically make those stronger versions of these previous two weapons because the Enclave guns do more damage than the base plasma guns. But unless you're really lucky, you're gonna have to stick to this one. And this thing basically blows all the other ones out of the water. This thing even just destroys the gas pistol in term of time. In fact, I believe this was actually the fastest gun I've ever tested so far. It even beat the flamer from the heavy weapons video, which is pretty crazy because that thing had more armor penetration. This thing did not. But this gun basically just says, hey, screw that, we're just gonna be good. So while you can consider this gun cheating to have it on the list twice, this gun I had a weird feeling for, so I just thought it would be fair to put it on here twice. So one last thing to note is there is an issue with the laser pistol or the rifle, and the sniper barrel just does not work. So this is on the Ultracite Laser pistol, and this is the exact same on the laser pistol as well as the regular one. Whenever you hit your target, the first shot will do damage, but every shot afterwards will do like no damage. So I really hope this gets fixed soon, because this is supposed to do more damage than the ones I used in the video, but I couldn't use it because they didn't work. So I guess add another bug to the list of things Bethesda needs to fix. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking another look at the pistols of Fallout 76. I really hope one of the ones from this video, especially the #1 spot, can help you in your quest of using pistols in this game. And with that being said, I'd like to wish all of you guys farewell. See you guys around.